Hey, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reacting to Student Challenges my guy Ben Shapiro on transgenderism. If it makes them happy, what's the harm? It's a good question. What's the harm? What's the harm? I've, to be honest, never been really too familiar with the transgender community. I try always to kind of stay out of those conversations. I understand that they have a question of, whether or not, gender, what is it? The conversation of not sex, but gender. I guess sex is something that can't change. You're born. Sorry, you guys. Sorry about that. You guys are born male. You're born male or female, but gender is fluent. So there are hundreds of genders. I get that part of it. I guess I know. Sounds a little confusing, but hundreds of genders and hundreds of, basically they're saying hundreds of different ways to express yourself, and societies have had different ways for generations to express yourself. So the expression of self, I don't think, is the problem that people are having. I think it's bathrooms. I think it's bathrooms and sports. It's really the biggest problem with transgenderism people are having, and also the whole idea of pronouns. People don't want to people don't want you to tell them what you have to say to them, but people don't want you to tell them how to talk, basically. So freedom of speech, sports, bathrooms. Let's go, but let's get into it though. I want to. Dang, it's far up. What the heck? I don't know why that's to me. All right, let's go. Uh-oh.
Hi, thank you for the talk. I just had a question about a comment you made at the beginning about transitioning from male to female or otherwise.
Yes.
You've talked a lot tonight about how important it is to let people believe what they want to believe, and how the government and us have no say telling people what they should think or what they should be able to say. I just wanted to ask, what's the harm, if somebody's going to be a happier person because they say that they're a man or a woman, like what's the harm in just letting them do it?
I'm not in favor of government banning people who are adults. Children I'm in favor of banning, because now you're talking about somebody who's not capable of consent. Right? All of our laws are based on the ability of people to consent. If you're a child, you can't consent. So I'm very much.
Yep. When you, I think that's another issue. I mean, I said bathroom sports and I said bathroom sports and children. What was pro? I forgot what I meant by pro. I forgot what I said. But anyways, children. Yeah. Like, people don't want children to be taught about transgenderism. They want them to grow up and make that decision themselves. And I did hear that overwhelmingly people who transition over from transgender end up unaliving themselves. I know to call it a mental illness is transphobia. To call it a mental illness is transphobia. I understand that. But I do wonder, like, when they transition over, they unalive themselves. They're unalived at the highest rate by their partners. It's definitely an interesting conversation. But yeah, children is definitely something that it's on the table for discussion. Like, that's on the table for discussion. Like, children being taught anything sexual. Like, we don't want that at all. But it's definitely an interesting conversation. Let's go, Ben.
In favor of banning gender transition for kids. I think that it's frankly evil. I think you're making decisions for children who are not capable of making decisions for themselves that are permanent and have long-lasting, significant, and severe impact. As far as adults, if you're 25 and you want to get a sex change surgery and you feel like it's going to make you feel better, you have the right to do it. You do. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I mean, the research on this stuff tends to be somewhat conflicting, but if it works for you, it works. It's a free country. Now, that's really not the question that's being asked in our society today, because I don't think there are that many people who are like, we want to ban gender surgery for a 30-year-old. I'm not seeing the campaign for that. What I am seeing is a campaign on the left that says that my child is going to be removed from my home 10 years from now if I don't agree with the left's view of how I should treat my child's gender confusion at age 4. I see.
Oh, they better not do that. Oh my God. If they said they're going to take my kids away from me because I disagree with the fact that they say that they are a male or a female, that's something that people go to war over. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to. Hopefully that's not a push. Hopefully he's not. Hopefully he's a God. Hopefully he's mistaken about that. But if he's not, oh my God. Oh my God. But let's go.
The left suggesting that they want to fine me if I refuse to say that a man is a woman as a general proposition. Right? If I say that men and women are separate, then the left says this is discrimination. Or the left is going to suggest that it has no impact on my business if I employ a woman at Hooters and she shows up the next day as a man. right? Like that does have an impact on my business, right? But the left would suggest, well, you should sort of deal with it. Well, it turns out that gender does mean something, and it does have an actual meaning to people outside of you. I'm not going to go along with the general societal willingness to rewrite basic facets of human nature and human biology, and frankly, mammalian biology, in order to suggest that a delusion is true. Now, if the best thing for the person...
I understand what he's saying when he talks about delusion, but that's where he gets offensive. And I know that he's doing it to be a shock jock to a degree, but also get a message across that people need to understand that, like, messing with children is not it. And we definitely need to discuss transgenderism on a whole nother level of just allowing it into society and allowing people to do whatever they want to do. Nobody should be censored 100%, but I definitely do wonder if the data is conflicted. What do we know? Okay, let's go off that. Like, what do we know? And what can we do to actually help the situation? What can we do?
Is for the person to continue. They can't change what they're thinking. There's no way for them to get out of it. They want to change their body so they feel that it is more in line with what they're thinking. More power to them. That's their problem. And as I've said before, by the way, I've said this 1,000 times and everybody on the left automatically ignores it, of course. I've said that if I were in a room with a transgender person having dinner with that person, I wouldn't go out of my way to call them by their biological sex. And because it's rude, right? I wouldn't do that if I were sitting right across from them. But if you're asking me in a public forum whether a man is a man and a woman is a woman, or asking me to call a man a woman in a public forum, the answer is no.
I think the Bellarmine difference comes from being...
The crazy thing is, some people would actually have a problem with what he just said. I don't have an issue with anything he just said. If he doesn't want to call somebody a woman who's not a woman, he doesn't have to. Like, it's not. That's another thing. Like, that's the biggest argument about it, right? We don't have to speak the way people think we should speak. We should be able to speak however we want to speak. I respect the pronouns. I don't care. If you want to be called this, I'll call you that. Like whatever. But I understand the argument that people are having where they're saying, like, well, if I don't want to call that person that, or if I don't want to call this person this, I shouldn't have to. You shouldn't try to come in here and shove that shit down my throat. I remember watching something, Matt Gaetz, I think that's what his name. No, not Matt Gaetz. Matt Walsh. What is a woman? That whole, I'm going to turn that on so my daughter can watch it. But that whole, I just wanted to see, like, what she thinks about it. But it's all, I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments? Do you think that we should open up a society that has dialogue about this type of... Well, no, we definitely should have dialogue. But do you think we should open up a society towards this? Should we have these sports? What should we do? Sports? God, I keep yawning. Sports, bathrooms, what should we do, y'all? Anyways, I'm out. Peace.